Hi, I'm Laura Eaton with Niren Associates. I'm here today to talk to you about L-1A intercompany transferees. This is a non-immigrant classification that allows a U.S. employer to petition an executive or a managerial employee to come to the U.S. from one of its affiliated offices. It also allows a foreign company to send an executive or a managerial employee to the U.S. for the purposes of starting up a U.S. company. Now, you might be wondering, how do I qualify? Well, the first thing to consider is how I've been working for the foreign company for at least 1 year. If you have, great. The next thing, well, do you work in an executive or a managerial capacity? Now, these are fairly narrowly defined. Now, if you're working as an executive capacity, generally it refers to an employee's ability to supervise the employees under a wide latitude. If it's managerial, you're still supervising employees, however, it's more of in a branch or department situation, and you do sort of have some supervision over top of yourself. Now, although this may seem sort of straightforward, we always recommend that you speak with an immigration consultant or an immigration specialist to ensure that you actually do qualify for the status. The next thing to consider is whether or not there is a business relationship between the foreign and the U.S. company. These are generally as a parent, affiliate, subsidiary, or a branch affiliate relationship. Generally speaking, the foreign company must own at least 50% of the U.S. company, or the foreign owners must have equal ownership in the foreign and the U.S. company for them to qualify. Again, you should always speak with a qualified immigration specialist to ensure that there is the business qualifying relationship. Now, you can also go in with a U.S. startup company. You just have to submit some additional documentation, such as you have to include a very detailed business plan, including financial projections as well as employee hiring projections. You must also have secured a lease agreement or have already purchased a business location where the business operations will be conducted. You must be able to provide share certificates to demonstrate to the officer that there is a qualifying relationship between the foreign and the U.S. company. As well, you have to be able to demonstrate that the employee that you're transferring to the U.S. has been working for your company for at least 1 year. Another thing to consider is if the employee qualifies for this status, they are also able to bring their spouse or their children who are under the age of 21, and they qualify under L-2 status. Now, so often employees and employers get very overwhelmed with all the paperwork, the application forms, the processing times, where to submit it. That's where we come in. Niren Associates is here to be able to assist you with preparing the application effectively and efficiently. We ensure that all of the qualifications and requirements for this application are clearly indicated in the petitioning letters and all of the documentation that is submitted. We also ensure that the application is tabbed and logically organized so the officer can easily access the information and is very easily understood. Also, as part of our services, Niren Associates provides a preparation prior to the client making an application. This includes providing sort of an idea of some of the questions that will most likely be asked, as well as what to expect when a positive decision is rendered and how to go about obtaining it in your passport. Clients usually agree that this gives them the confidence that they need to be able to submit this application and obtain a successful decision. Now, as a Canadian, you can submit this application directly at the border and a decision is rendered on the spot. Now, for non-Canadians, you have to submit it to the service center. Processing times vary. However, you do have the option of paying for something called premium processing, which is an additional government fee. However, it does render a decision within 15 calendar days. If you would like some more information about this status, or you'd like to see if we'd be able to assist you with this, please visit our website or give us a call at the number below. Thank you for watching.